Welcome to the Men's Leadership Network presentation of a special mini-series podcast, The COVID Sessions, a place where you can weekly come and expect to find, I'm not sure.
Well, hello guys, and welcome to Men's Leadership Network. We're so glad that you've joined us, clicked on this to listen to this kind of introduction to something new. You know, Men's Leadership Network exists to help men lead well at home and our workplace and our communities for Christ. And, you know, the normal rhythm is that every Friday you get Men's Leadership Network Man Minute in your inbox. And with it comes a resource and just a moment of just kind of a devotional or something to encourage and equip, and then a resource for you men. And just in kind of a season where we're just kind of unprecedented and extraordinary and unique, we felt compelled to have a unique response. And so we want to encourage you men and equip you guys to lead well in your homes as you're leading from home in this really extraordinary moment in history. And so for the next several weeks, we don't know how long, but for the next several weeks on Fridays, when you get that Man Minute in your email, a part of it is going to be a link to this podcast and this video, where we're going to have a conversation that we've titled the COVID Conversations or the COVID Sessions. And we're just going to have a conversation about what life looks like and how do we lead within the bounds of what we're in the middle of, and how do we respond well as husbands and fathers, and leaders, and those kind of things. And so you'll get this conversation every week, and what we're going to call it is the COVID Sessions. And each week there's a staple cast of characters. And before we go any further, I want to introduce you to those guys. The first up is Rolling Hills Discipleship Pastor Jacob Scrimshire. Jacob is the brains of the operation. If you're watching this on video, you can tell because of the books that are behind him. He's read all of those, and if you pick any of them on the show,
they're not even real. They're props.
Yeah, he hasn't read any of those.
They're not
really. I mean, and I thought it was also because of your glasses that you were the brains. I mean, these aren't even real. I just have them to try to make myself look smarter as I'm on this with you. So Jacob is the brains of the operation. And again, if you're watching this, not listening, you will know by now that the beauty of the operation is Rolling Hills family pastor Chase Baker. He is definitely the pretty face. When Jacob and I originally, oh, look, you have glasses too.
Yeah. If I wear these, do I look smarter?
Yes. I mean, I don't know.
I don't know.
Chase brings the style and great hair. Jacob obviously has hair. I'm just jealous of both of them, being a bald man. So
just to be clear, Chase is more than a pretty face. He has a family as well.
Thank you.
And I'm sure Chase will say something important or valuable once or twice an episode. Maybe. So, and my name is T. Lusk, and I get to serve as the college and young adults pastor, and also serve with Rolling Hills Leadership Pipeline, which is all about raising the next generation of leaders for the church, for the ministry, the marketplace, and the home. And together, this group of guys is going to bring you each week COVID conversations. And I'm sure we'll have other folks kind of come in and out, and hopefully we'll hear from people who are way smarter than us that can actually shed light on situations and give us something to actually think about. But I guess, you know, kind of as we move on, what are, Jacob, if you don't mind just kind of starting us off and tell us a little bit about what we can expect each week as we kind of come to this place and get to talk with each other.
Yeah, definitely. I think this is the place to come for deep analytical discussions, lots of charts and graphs on the study of viruses and how they spread, and how we respond. None of that.
Wrong.
I think I signed up for the wrong podcast.
I'm on the wrong Zoom.
No, but seriously, the main reason I'm here is to hide from my kids. But seriously, I have really enjoyed being around my kids more, getting to watch them grow up even. I mean, it feels like I get to see them during the day where I normally don't get to see them. So I really enjoyed being a part of that. So there's things that this pandemic has made possible that weren't possible before, but there's also real struggles with that. There's real struggles with here for me and for a lot of the people that are going to be listening out there. So the goal of the podcast is to really give you practical, everyday, how do we navigate through this? Because none of these books behind me that I've ever read talk about how to walk through a global pandemic. But what they do talk about is the core truths of Christianity and how we walk through whatever circumstance that we walk through. And this will be about 15, 20 minutes of raw, relational, practical conversations around how do you do that.
That's awesome. And Chase, we've talked a couple times. What are your expectations? Kind of what do you feel like you want to see come out of this?
Yeah. One is that, man, this is obviously going to be Christ-centered, biblical principles that we're going to share, we're going to teach, we're going to present. It's going to be, and also it's going to be very practical. We don't want to have this 45-minute theories or ideas about different things. We want it to be very practical for the men that are listening or watching this to be able, what can we actually do now to grow us as men? We want to have an honest conversation. Like we want to, for sure, just whatever's going on in our lives, we just want to throw it out there. We want to be real. And also we hope that it's pretty humorous. I don't know. We feel like this is a place where we can give some levity to the world that we're living in. So we need a little bit of that, don't we? And so we're hoping that, we like hanging out together. So hopefully that translates.
Speak for you.
Oh, man. Hold on. Let me leave.
Yeah.
No, but we really do. We just want to have a good time. And also that we just want to provide men with practical encouragement, some resources to equip us during the COVID-19 crisis. That's why we're having this conversation. We hope that it's a personal reflection guide as we go throughout this whole thing, that we are better men after this thing than we were before. Like, we don't want to waste our time with COVID-19. And, a year from now, 2, 3, 10 years from now, when we look back, I pray that this is a defining moment for, a lot of our spiritual growth as we take next steps of faith in this season. So, I'm excited about these conversations.
Yeah, that's awesome. I echo all of that. And one of the other practical reasons why I want to be a part of this conversation is because it keeps me out of the pantry for at least 15 minutes as we have the conversation. I think, Chase, we were talking earlier, it's COVID-19 because that's the expected amount of weight that we're going to gain during quarantine. Is that right?
That's right.
That's why I'm black as slimming. I don't think it's working. We really enjoy hanging out with each other. We joke, but we do. We enjoy being around each other, and in that we hope that comes out in the conversations, and we hope that really as you listen to this or watch it, it can be something that you look forward to as kind of a moment for you as you end a week or prepare for a new week to kind of reset and reset your thoughts and how you focus on what's coming or reflect on what happened in the past week. And we hope that you can laugh and that you can be challenged a little bit. So we're excited about just what's going to come out of this. And again, we're not promising that it's going to last forever. We've committed to say, as long as we're kind of in this crisis, kind of in quarantine or kind of coming out of that, we're going to provide this on a week-to-week basis. So if you don't love it, it's not going to last forever. If you do love it, then you can let us know that, because it'll be great for our own self-esteem. And I need that, because I need y'all to tell me that I do. Please.
Yeah, and just so people know,
below.
Every 5-star review you leave of this on iTunes is what will keep us going through each day. So on those 5-star reviews, so if you could help us out there.
Yeah, right. Yes, please. I tell you what, we'll just wrap this up. There's a couple ways that you guys can help us. First is subscribing to Rolling Hills YouTube. There's a playlist there where all of these will sit with all of the other MLN videos. If you didn't know, there's like 75 videos that we recorded over the past number of years, Pastor Jeff and others. Great interviews. You can go check those out. That's where these will sit on a week-to-week basis. If you don't follow our Facebook, or we even have a LinkedIn and a Twitter, I'm trying to convince our communication department to maybe even give us an Instagram. But that may come later. I mean, it's big time, guys.
Hey, what about MySpace? Would they agree to that?
We could. There's actually already one a MySpace there. So you're in charge of it, Jacob.
What's the song that's on there when you come on there? That's the big question.
Is that what did you write that one? So you can just follow those social medias and YouTube. That's where they'll be, and you can find this each week wherever you normally listen to podcasts. If you're listening rather than watching, we hope that you do want to watch it, because I mean, Jacob has great jokes and Chase has some jokes that are only really good if you see them. So.
Right.
So you really want to tune in for that stuff. That's called a teaser, folks. So, and then one last thing that we'd love for you to do below here, you can give us you can tell us things that you want to talk about. So serious and silly, man, we're wide open. We want to have conversations that are helpful, but also that bring levity, like we said already, and they're humorous. So if you have funny things or things that you think are funny, and we can pick them up and talk about them, we want to do that. So write that, let us know what you want to hear. So any closing things, fellas, before we sign off and say bye to these guys and look forward to next week?
No, we really need to wrap this up because I got to get.
Well, yeah, I've got an itinerary of the day. Have you ever seen those maps? So I've got to go journey down to the kitchen. So,
well, hey, listen, we're excited to be able to do this, and we look forward to next week when we kind of kick off these conversations and get this all started. So, fellas, we're praying for you. We believe in you, and we're excited about you, and we believe that God has something in the midst of this for each of us. As Chase and Jacob both said, we want to be better on the other side of this than we are today. And so just challenge even this week. What are you going to do today that's going to bring you to being better on the other side of this? What are you going to do this weekend? What are you planning on doing next week that's going to move you forward in a goal that you've set for the other side? We can't wait to see you next week. Thanks for being here this week. We'll see you.